Back for another Football Guys live draft with our boy Joe Carlton. We got a special guest tonight, Frank Ammirante, all the way from Canada. So we got the North America crew here tonight. Nobody from Mexico, but
I wore the Raptor to my
Hey,
Toronto Raptors
Toronto
Scott Fishbowl
Raptors.
for Frank
Oh
tonight.
yeah,
nice. Oh yeah.
little Stromile Swift. I used to have a Stromile Swift jersey. Remember him, Frank?
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I think
You
Vince
get all those blocks.
Vince Carter wore number 15, right? So that's why I got the Scott Fishbowl 15 Raptors T-shirt.
Nice. I love it.
But anyway, we're going to go, 20 rounds tonight. We're going to get the analysis from everybody. We're going to get a little background on Frank. He's writing for multiple different sites. He's been in the game for a long time, 35,000 followers on X. Some controversial takes on X. I think people go at him a little bit. So we'll get into all of it tonight. So, you got to try to take them down. This is your chance. We got some big dogs in the draft. We're going to come back on the other side. We're going to pull up the draft board. We're going to start getting the draft. Joe's got the number 1 pick. So he'll get us started tonight. Fantasy Savvy on X. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing to the show. We'll be doing live drafts all the way up until the season starts. Let's go. Okay, here we go, boys. Our boy Josh is already in the chat. Number 1 in the chat, number 1 in your hearts. That is right. So, Frank, man, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for Joe for putting this together. This is the Beat and Frank Ammirante draft on NFFC. Joe, I don't know if you want to just go over the rules real quick before this draft starts, and then we'll ask Frank some questions, and then we'll start drafting here in a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So those of you who do not know the NFC format, we got the rosters are 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receivers, must start 3, 1 flex, 1 tight end, 1 team kicker, and 1 team defense. It is 3rd round. The draft is 3rd round reversal. It's not tight end premium. It is 6 points for a passing touchdown, 6 points for all touchdowns. Basically a standard defensive scoring system. And we use it in the draft uses KDS. Now what that is Kentucky Derby style drafting. So you get to choose from 1 through 12 the order that you want, which pick you want the most. And then whoever gets the first choice gets their first pick. So if you wanted the 8, like Frank, I saw wanted the 8 pick. And he had the 3rd choice, but nobody took 8 yet. So he gets his top choice in 8. So he's picking from the 8 spot tonight. I've been trying to get the number 1 spot for a couple of drafts now. I finally got it. So I'm in the 1 spot. I got my top choice. That's basically how that works. So once again, it's not tight end premium as well.
Yeah, it's a 12-team league. How many guys do we usually get in this contest overall, Joe? What is it, like 4,800, something like that?
It's about 5,000 entries, yeah. The draft is 20 rounds long, 20 man rosters.
20-man
listeners, the biggest adjustment I make from your regular fantasy league is that the 6-point passing touchdowns and then passing yardage too is what, like 0.05 per one.
It's 25 yards it's 4 points every it's point.
I remember it was okay, maybe I was mistaken, but anyway, 6-point passing touchdowns. What I was saying is like those high volume pocket passers get a bump. The running quarterbacks get a slight downgrade because that kind of neutralizes their advantage from running so much. So spoiler, I'll be looking for more of a pocket passer than I would in previous drafts, like if I'm doing best ball or something with conventional scoring.
Yeah. So Joe gets the number 1 pick. I'm in the 5 hole. Frank is in the 8 hole. So again, we'll be breaking it all down. Joe is going to start us off, as you can see.
Here we go.
Right now, and we
It's
are
one
off.
So it is 1 point per 20. You were right, Frank.
Yeah, see? Yeah, so it's 1 per 20. So that means those high volume passing quarterbacks they get a bump. Jameer Gibbs. Consensus
no-brainer.
1. I'm a little bit on the bold side. I prefer Bijan, but you can't go wrong with either or.
Yeah, I feel like, it's like Gibbs is going every single time. So if you don't take Gibbs there, it's going to be hard to get him unless you have the one spot. I actually do kind of like Bijan. I'm with you, Frank. I like Bijan overall as well. It's just that the way this thing is like if you don't take him at the 1, you're not going to get Gibbs there. All right, let me get my pick ready here, which should be very easy. As we are kicking off.
3 and 4 is Jamar Chase and Puka. No surprise. Same thing that it's always been.
Yeah.
I like Bijan too, but I want Gibbs first. If I pick from this end again, I'll do Bijan.
No, I hear you. There's really no really wrong answer in my view. They're just
Detroit does have the easiest schedule, based on last year's data, of course.
All right, I'll take JSN here.
We got some great names in this room. There he is, Waxman.
Oh yeah,
Big St. Brown. 1 pick away from me. Let's see if I get my guy. Everyone knows, if you will read my stuff, who I like better. Who just went? Oh, McCaffrey, good. All right, this might be bold to some, but this is the pick. Ashton Genty.
All right, I like it.
Yeah,
plays with an improved offensive line. The O-line just going to improve just from Kubiak being there. That disaster that the Raiders had last year, partly because of obviously lack of talent, but also partly because the scheme was trash. So I think Genty, he gave us a sneak peek of what he could do in that blow-up game against the Texans. They're going to feed Genty, and I'm all in on that Raiders offense, which you'll continue to see throughout the draft.
Yeah, Kubiak, man, I think he's proven himself, even with the Saints, a couple years ago before they had all those injuries. That offense was high flying before it went down. So I like the bold pick there, man. I like to be different. I like that, instead of like the same old shit every single time. I like that you mixed it up there. Props to you. So it is going to be coming back down to me pretty soon, and Frank first. But Frank, why don't you just give us a little bit about your background real quick? Who you're writing for nowadays. What are the main sites? I know Roto Ballers, Scott Engel. What other sites are you writing for currently?
Yeah, so I write for Roto Baller Fantasy Pros with fantasy stuff, betting contents at Lineups, at Action Network, all kinds of fantasy betting content all over different sites. Just try to keep the plate full. I love making content. I love talking sports. I'm blessed to have built a following. Forever grateful for that. And it's always fun to, talk some shit, talk some sports.
Yeah, man. All right, you're up. I'll let you. We'll get back into your history in a little bit, but I'll let you pick here again.
Let's hope I get my guy.
Look at the green run from the mid to the end.
All right, he went London. Everyone's gonna be like, "How are you doing this?" 2 Raiders. Yep, this is my favorite pick in the entire draft.
I like the 8 spot too, Frank.
I think Clint Kubiak. We've been speaking about him throughout this draft. He's a great play caller. You look at the Raiders receiver room, very, very thin. Obviously, Bowers is a generational talent at tight end. Why did Bowers do poorly last year? Bad coaching, and he played injured. So I think he gives you a huge positional advantage at tight end. I think he could set records this year, and especially this is full PPR, which is great. He's going to have a monster target share. I like the receivers later, so I'm cool with making this bold stance. Sort of bold. It's not that much ahead of ADP. More bold that I have 2 Raiders, but I think that they're going to be much improved. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you keep going. I'm going to make my pick, but I'll comment on your start after make this pick. But you guys could pick it up from here if you want.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, Frank, because you basically got the entire offense right there. I mean,
Yeah, also, like, if I make the sprint at the end, those 3 weeks, and the Raiders playing in a shootout, how many times do you see it where a couple of the big boys on the same offense just really have that kind of spike week? And I think I'm optimistic on Kubiak and this Raiders offense. They even signed, Pro Bowl center from the Ravens. What's his name? Linderbaum. I think that'll help the O line. Ooh, Emeka Egbuka, second round. I like him. I'm a big fan this year. I think Egbuka takes a year 2 leap. And I'm not the type like, oh, he fell off in the second half. He was playing injured. Things happen. I'm high on Egbuka.
Yeah, I'm not there. I just feel like second round's too pricey for me. But so I probably won't have any Egbuka.
It is a bit. That is a bit pricey. I like him more in the third, but yeah, I do get your point there.
But back to your Bowers Gentry start. I actually did the same thing in a draft last year, and I had McBride as well, which helped. So you have to finish top 2 to advance to the postseason or to win a prize. So I didn't do that, but I finished top 15%, overall points. So my team did make it to the shootout with that combination. And Bowers was terrible. I mean, he didn't have the year that was expected. It was really McBride. But I did kind of go with that combination. And obviously nobody, I couldn't predict how terrible their offensive line was going to be. I mean, it was absolutely hideous last year. That completely destroyed that team. So, but I like it, man. I like the start. We'll see if maybe you grab Kirk Cousins or Mendoza at the end. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the good thing with that is like Mendoza probably, even though me as someone who thinks Mendoza will eventually start earlier than what they're saying, because they're saying they want to start Cousins all year. Yeah, you could just pick up Mendoza. We do hear that every year, we want to start the veteran all year, and then week 6 rolls around and they're 1-5. But I think Cousins could do decent in Kubiak's offense because he's got familiarity with that scheme. So even if Cousins plays more, I'm fine with that.
Steve G says he might retire after tonight. I hope not. I still got to get Steve G on a show. So Steve, we're going to do that, man. 100% for the season starts. Maybe a couple. Got to definitely draft a couple with you, man. So you're not retiring for sure. But you maybe just take a break for a week, go to Vermont or something. I don't know, man. But we appreciate you guys. We got Sandin in the draft here tonight as well. He's the one who took a break.
There he is.
Yep. We got Billy, Hall of Famer Billy Wazowski.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think of me pushing Garrett Wilson up there? Because I mean, I intended on taking Pickens, but I already have a share of Devonta Smith. That would be my normal. If this was the only entry ever, I'd probably go Devonta Smith. But just to mix it up, Garrett Wilson. I think Geno is going to zero in on him. I think 130 targets isn't out of the realm for Garrett Wilson. So I kind of wanted to start my build with Jahmyr Gibbs with a high volume alpha wide receiver. I know he's on the Jets, but good game scripts, could be playing from behind a lot of garbage points. And like I said, I think it's like, Kenyon Sadiq is possibly going to, as the season goes on, could be the number 2 target, but there's really no defined number 2 target there. Everything else is going to be kind of spread around, and it's going to be Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. And, so I pushed him up. I went for the volume.
I like it. I mean, do you guys remember? Well, first, do you guys remember last year, the first game, the Raiders, when he tried to throw to freaking Dante Thornton, who the Raiders were trying to make Randy Moss 2.0 like 19 times in a row, and he just couldn't connect with them. So that could be Geno Smith week 1 to Garrett Wilson, and you're throwing to Garrett Wilson, who's a legit NFL receiver. I mean, if Geno's can stay protected and stay healthy, I mean, yeah, I like it, man. I like the process. It's just the Jets; they're a complete shit show every single year. And that's why, Joe, I keep telling you, I'm expecting Bailey Zappi by like week 13.
Oh, God, no.
So, for me, I see the appeal with Garrett Wilson. It's just that I'm so high on Smith and Olave that I would have just kept firing on them and just taking this. I know you like to diversify. I like to just hammer the guys I want. But, Wilson, I get it. You're going to play more volume probably. Wilson, I've always been a big believer in his talent. Hey, look at the Jets. Their own line is filled with former first-round picks. They got, 3 Wilson went in the first round. Cooper went in the first round. Sadiq in the first round. It's a good supporting cast. Hey, maybe they have a sneaky offense.
Yeah.
I'm a little higher on them offensively than most.
Yeah,
I should say, and it's the third round reversal factors in too. I only get one pick there. I have to pick somebody. You know, I know Garrett Wilson's not making it back, so
True.
It's got to be somebody. You know, if I'm reaching, it's got to be somebody who I think isn't going to make it back.
True. And I'm relieved to have gotten Devontae Smith, one of my favorite targets, and
that's a great stat, Frank. You got a great stat going.
Yeah, thank you. Like, I think Smith, with Brown gone, he's really going to take his game to the next level, be the alpha dog there. I know they drafted Mekhi Lemon and Eli Stowers, but that's less target competition compared to A.J. Brown. And I think with Sean Mannion as the new OC for the Eagles, you're going to see their offense just do a lot better just because of that. Like, Kevin Patullo was awful, very still, stagnant, unimaginative offense. I think with Mannion, who shot through the ranks. I always like these young OCs who shoot through the ranks. I think he can do well with the Eagles, and Smith will be a big beneficiary of that.
Oh, I just saw Billy's comment. This is legitimately my first Corona, Billy.
Steve G's going on vacation 2 weeks.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I needed to be on my third or fourth. There goes Higgins, McConkey, Tet, all in a row.
Question from Aaron. He says, what is the settings? PPR. Yes, PPR, you start 3 receivers and just 1 flex there, Aaron, here in the NFFC. And it is not best ball. This is a managed league, but there is no trading in the NFFC. So it is managed, but there is no trading. All right, Joe is up on the clock again.
I got 2. I got 2 in a row, right?
Back to back. Yep, you are in the 1 hole. After losing that third round reversal, you are back into the regular mix. Yeah. And again, third round reversal, Team 12 gets the first pick of the third round. So that's the only big difference. And then it works its way back down again. And then it's normal snake draft after that again.
All right. I'm gonna take Christian Watson here because he ain't ever making it back. At the one spot you just gotta get who you want, man. Because I think if you follow ADP, you take away your ceiling.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do Christian Watson, and then where are we? Start the 4th round. I feel like this is one of the latest. I know I've seen later, but I think he's a value in the 4th round. Yeah, I'm going to go Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, that's a smash pick. He fell too far. That's an overcorrection from Genty struggling in his rookie year, that sour taste in everyone's mouth. Rookie running back on a bad team, but Love's a great receiver out of the backfield. They still have McBride, Harrison, Wilson, so there's weapons there. Round 4, I'm all in on that.
Yeah, I'm not there with Love yet. I gotta watch him a little bit more. I gotta, get sold on a little bit more. I'm just kind of worried about Algier and Connor. I mean, I just feel like those guys are going to play in the mix a little bit. And maybe the Cardinals, you draft them so high, you're going to use them, right? But I don't know. I'm a little skittish there with Love, but maybe I'll come around at some point. But it's certainly a high upside pick, and the guy is obviously immensely talented. So
4th round is right, Steve. 4th round is right, I think. I have him in the 3rd round. When he was in the 2nd round early on, that's when I was like, yeah, no, that's a little too high. I think eventually he'll drop. And now's the time to get him, because if we get any news that Connor is cut or traded or whatever, if that backfield gets consolidated, he probably goes right back up into the 2-3 third. Maybe. He moves up some.
Yeah. I think that will happen just because, they have such a log jam there. And I think it will end up being just Love Algier anyway, even if one of them get cut. It's not like Benson would probably, whichever one they keep will get barely used, I think. But I could see, Connor getting cut and then going to the Lions or something. Wouldn't surprise me. Got something to think about here.
Much to no surprise, the team 3 and 4 team 4. I mean, all yellow. That's been the norm in almost every draft. I feel like, because you start with Chase and Puka, and it's just that spot that the elite tier running backs usually go at the back end of the first into the early second, and then you're left with the next set of wide receivers. So I've seen a lot of zero RB builds from the 3 and the 4 spot.
All right, I went with my boy. I went with a Jet.
I like it. I like it.
I was gonna go with JMO. I like JMO a lot, Frank. I know you were hating on him. Also, Jim Coventry was hating on him. Sanda had a post where he was supporting him. I'm with Sanda. I can't fade JMO. He's just too different with his speed. But I felt like Brees. The Jets are a shit show. You never know what the hell's gonna happen. But I feel like Brees is, he's pretty solid in the 4th round. So
yeah, I like that. Like that a lot. I think that was a nice value. I think what we were saying about the Jets, it could be a sneaky good offense that would really help Brees. Obviously, their O-line is improving. I'm 1 pick away. Got something to think about here. There's one player who's fallen a little bit, but we got a debate. 1 pick away. What do we do? What are we going to do?
Yeah, Steve G defended my Wilson pick. He says, Joey, don't let these guys talk about that Wilson pick.
Davante Adams. Okay, so
nice.
There you go.
Judging by how this draft has gone, even though there's one quarterback, like there hasn't been a quarterback taken yet, I don't really want to pay up for one. So I think because this one quarterback hasn't been taken, it's going to push others down later too. So I'm going to keep waiting. I'm going to take a player that I never usually get to get because he gets so steamed in these best ball leagues and he's fallen to my lap. We're going to take a shot on Luther Burden.
Okay. So Frank starts with Genty, Bowers, Devonta, and Luther Burden through 4 rounds.
Now, I've been saying a lot on the offseason, like I like waiting for a Dunze rather than Burden. But in this format, I'm trying to win in overall. It's full PPR. Burden is, fallen to like near the end of the 4th round. Sometimes in these best balls, he goes early 4th, late 3rd. So I figure I get a share on him. And I know how receivers really fly off the board in this format. So given that I started RB tight end, I wanted to make sure it was a receiver here.
That's a good call. I agree with that, Frank. Even though at this point, yeah, there he goes. I was going to say it's decent value.
It was, but then I'd be investing heavily in QB and tight end. I'd really fall behind in receiver. Like, look at all the yellow.
It's not, you need everything to go right. I had a Mahomes Kelsey stack a couple of years ago, and I finished the regular season 26th overall, I think, in total points, and just crapped the bed in the playoffs because the rest, finally adversity hit my team. Like I hit on that was the year DJ Moore was a top 10 I hit on my wide receivers, and things went well. And then the second adversity hits, it's over with because you don't have the depth.
Yeah. And like it worked for me one year in NFFC. I had Allen and I think it was Kelsey. But yeah, like you said, you got to really hit on those receivers, those mid-rounders one. And like look at these teams. 2 of them started with 4 receivers. So like they're going to fly off. Now I got another coming up again, 2 picks away. Don't have one clear guy that I love. Like there's one player at the top here that I'm not going to mention, but he's fallen a bit. But it's not like I love him. And I like another one of the Bears, but, I'm not going to take 2 Bears receivers. So we have something to think about here. I don't really know just yet. I might do a little bit of a slight reach on a player that I do like. But this is tough.
Our boy Dan is in the chat saying, what's up? There goes DJ Moore.
All right, I'm up. So this might be a little bit of a reach, but with receivers flying, and I'm a big believer in this player. Still only 24 years old. We can't give up on him after 2 disappointing seasons. We're taking Marvin Harrison. And, Harrison, yeah, it's it's like 6, 7, 8 spots above ADP, but I feel a little more comfortable with him as my receiver 3 because you don't have to, rely on him as much. And I'm a big believer in the talent. And I think with the coaching change with my Mike LaFleur there coming from the McVay coaching tree, I think he'll put Harrison in better spots to succeed. I'm going to roll the dice there on Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, it was ugly when he was going at the end of the first round. I remember when I took him with one of my teams and I didn't feel good about it. But, now you get him in the 5th round. And, I actually went back and I kind of looked at his film from last year. And I think he showed up pretty well. He was just a little bit banged up. And, Brissett can get him the ball better than Kyler can. So, I like it as your 3rd receiver. It's good value, I think, this year. All right.
I also like Brian Thomas there, but they're kind of neck and neck for me, Thomas and Harrison. I just decided to go with Harrison just because I think, I just really have a good feel like he could really break out. Even they're like neck and neck again.
I like Harrison. I'm in on Harrison this year. I mean, if you look at the data, when him, Wilson, and McBride were on the field, even after the injury, he dominated all the important stuff, the target share, the snaps, all that. And he's the red zone threat, outside of McBride.
Yeah, exactly. Harrison had like 8 touchdowns his rookie year. He had a ton of red zone targets last year, even missing time. So figured it was worth the gamble.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I hate this spot. Every time I'm in this spot, I don't know who the hell to take. This is why I've taken Tyler Warren here. I don't know what receiver to take. So I was going to jump down a little bit on the board and take a different type of running back. But Swift, I always liked DeAndre Swift, and I kind of hated on, but he had a great year last year. I got to start going back to the well with him. I mean, he's just too good in that system. He really showed out last year. So I'll probably jump on him a little bit as I jump off Cam Scatabo, but that's my pick again there. So I still don't like that spot overall. Joe, you are up right now. Joe has started with Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, Garrett Wilson, and Christian Watson. So still needs a tight end. Could use another, 3rd receiver here. Starting 3 receivers. So we'll see what he ends up doing.
I'm gonna double tap some Jaguars here. I'm gonna do Parker Washington and Bashal Tupin.
I love that.
I like it.
Nice value with Tuden. I was looking at him here. You got 2 great values there with Love and Tuden. More of a Thomas guy than Washington, but I get the appeal for sure. Washington looked great down the stretch. Full PPR format is nice for him as well. So it's solid.
I especially where I didn't have a bye week 7 already rostered.
Honestly,
2 pieces of that up.
Joe, I like that. Yeah, I was going to take 2 in there. I was thinking about moving him up there and just taking him. Parker Washington, just did an interview with Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen just did an interview talking about how good he was and, talking him up a lot. So, his role seems pretty damn secure there, unless Travis Hunter, kind of gets into the mix a little bit more often, but we'll have to see. But somebody commented in the chat, Team 9 going all Bills, and I actually love it. I think it's I definitely want to have a few builds like that this year with the Cook Allen Moore combination.
And he's got it surrounded by good pieces. London
exactly.
And
Exactly. I like it a lot.
This is a tough spot here.
Yeah, all the good players are gone.
That's what it is. All right, I think I'm going to take a shot. The hell do I want to do here?
So you started JSN, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, Brees Hall, Cam Scatabo. It's actually good value on Scatabo.
Yeah, I mean, I took him in the third, but again, I was in the one hole, I think, in that draft, so could have been like third or fourth or whatever. You know what? I like this kid. I might not be able to get him. So maybe I get him next round, but whatever. I'll just take him now.
Kai Lemon.
Yeah, I'm pushing him up the board a little bit, I guess, but I believe in his talent. I like him a lot. So, the receivers are kind of all the same to me there. They're nobody really stands out truly. So, I could have went QJ or something, but whatever.
I'm just a little bit aggravated because I was, anticipating him falling back in the 7-8, and I was going to pick him.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm a little aggravated about that, Steve.
This is a
hey man, so you gotta switch things up a little bit, keep people on their toes. It's not gonna always fall how it's gonna fall. So,
all right. So, I don't usually make a move like this. Let me see.
Oh, somebody fell to you, Frank. If you take them, somebody fell to you.
Yeah, there's some quarterbacks here, but I'm gonna swing. This is tough. Hold on, let me think this through. It's gonna take a rookie receiver.
Yeah, I like it. That's the one.
It's a bit of a reach. I haven't really taken him. I've been more of an Olave guy, but like I said, these receivers fly. You look at my receivers. I waited till round 3 to take my first one in Devontae Smith. You look at my receiver 2 and 3, Burden and Harrison. A lot of risk there, a lot of upside, but a lot of risk. They aren't proven really. So Jordan Tyson could be like a late season hammer that if I get to the 3-week sprint, I have him there. Rookie receivers do their best work at the end of the year. I like another receiver there, but I think he could fall back to me. So that's why I saw you take Lemon. So I figured these rookie receivers could be pushed up. So I'll take a shot on Tyson.
Frank, that's actually decent value on Tyson. That's who I was talking about.
Oh, really? Nice.
I almost took him at the 5-6 turn. I was considering it.
I'm trying to look at the ADP, the recent one, so I might be off because I might be like too far of a date range that I set. And this is my first NFFC draft of the year, so I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like to do a third running back with Jahmyr Gibbs in the first 6 rounds, but I thought the double tap on the Jacksonville play it's just the way it worked out this time. So I didn't take Jordan Tyson there. Plus, I think I have 2 shares of Jordan. I've done 4 or 5. I can't remember. It's either 4 or 5. But I know I have two Jordan Tysons already too. So I like the pick. I think he's gonna have value, and it's not gonna take long. You could probably start him right from the start, and his contingent upside is massive if something were to happen to Olave. So I like him.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. The contingent upside and just like that, just a swing for the fences. And I see some other veterans that I can look at as a potential pick later. So you're debating something. I really like how these QBs have fallen. Even though I like one there, I'm going to continue the yellow brick road, made a little bit of a reach. The polar opposite of my previous pick, which was a rookie receiver. I'm going to take a veteran who's great in full PPR, fits nicely on his new team, and it's a bit of a reach, but I think it balances my receiver room nicely. Michael Pittman.
I like the pick.
Just because you look at my room there, like Burden, Harrison, Tyson, that's a lot of unproven receivers. So I want that stabilizer, especially as Tyson early in the year, maybe does nothing the first 4 or 5 weeks. So I need to slot in someone, and I think Pittman makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, I think it's a good fit. Him and Rogers. I know never really was a Pittman guy, but he's solid. I mean, he runs a lot of those shorter, little curl routes, and he's a
Yeah.
big body. He's a big body, and I feel like it's somebody that Rogers is going to lean on. It just feels like more
Yeah.
so than DK. So I feel like he could, he'll probably be the number one there. There
Yeah.
goes.
Quick thing, I came in liking DK more, but like just to your point, you just said, it really, like, as I've read more and got more in the thick of it, the fit is nice with Pittman. If you look at Pittman before Daniel Jones got hurt, like, remember before Jones tore his Achilles, he even had that other injury, and he was playing through it, and it really hurt his effectiveness. But when Daniel Jones was fully healthy, Pittman was really, balling out. So I think he's a good fit here.
Yeah, I think it's solid. All right, I'm up here as 1 or 2. I'm taking a receiver here. I'm deciding which one I want to take. I've taken one of them a few times already. The other guy, I like a lot. He did get shot, but this guy's a warrior. I mean, the way he came back from that, he just, he hasn't been able to stay on the field. Pearsall. So it's between one of these two guys, Pearsall and Pierce. Pierce, we'll see when he gets back. Obviously coming off the ankle surgery, but yeah, let's switch it up. We'll go Pearsall on this one. And there goes Alec Pierce right after that. So there you go.
Golden.
Team 9. Love the Jonathan Brooks pick. I'm not a big Josh Downs guy. I mean, I think he's good for the 7th round. It's pretty solid, and a lot of I think he's talented. Just thinking, between Taylor and Warren. I don't know, but anyway, I love his draft so far. I like that style of draft. It's like right up my alley. So to me, that's my favorite team so far. I don't know if you guys look at the board, see anything that stands out to you that you like a lot. No pressure. You can comment anytime. But
I don't like how my IQ decimated in that round. First Josh Downs, then Frank with Pittman, then you with Pearsall, and then Sando with Pierce, and then Nelson with Golden. I suppose.
Too many sharps in this one, Joe. Too many sharps.
I was gonna pair him with Watson, but all right. Yeah, there is a lot of good players in this one. So all right. So instead of Golden, I'll take Tucker Kraft here with my first one.
Love
okay.
It.
I like it.
Big fan.
And we're gonna take a wide receiver here, obviously, but I gotta decide on which one. And between two, between Wan'Dale Robinson and Jordan Addison. I already got a volume guy. Addison could be a little inconsistent this year. Wan'Dale probably the safer pick.
Yeah, follow all the fellas. You guys can follow me on X at Fantasy Savvy. That's Frank. That's your handle there.
Frank Ammirante TFJ. Yep.
There it is. You got Joe's Points by Hand Carlton. Follow us all on X. Like, subscribe to the share. We appreciate you guys. Everybody jumping into the chat. We'll be doing live streams up until the season starts. Best balls, NFFC, FFPC, RT Sports. So check it all out. We got division preview again tomorrow night. We're doing, I believe, the NFC South. So check that out as well. And then Monday night, Sin City Heartbreakers. Those guys are breaking down the NFFC and what's going down there every single week. So check that out Monday night with Dan and Josh. All right.
Love it. Wanted Ramondre there. A lot of my RB2 late or mid-round targets have gone like Rashad White, Jonathan Brooks, but I'm gonna have to pivot there. These guys continue to fall. I think someone's gonna fall right into my lap.
The 8 spot's a good spot, Frank.
Yeah, I like now how after falling behind with receiver, after going RB tight end, like I have 5 that I feel comfortable with. Probably going to look at another position now for sure. But to some who may be watching this draft, we keep emphasizing it, but these receivers just fly off the board, and that's why you can just ride with the receiver run, because then you'll find value at QB or even some of the running backs later.
Yeah, it's good advice. You have to start 3. You also have a flex. In my instance, I leaned into the running back build, so I'll probably be flexing a running back a good chunk of the time. But if you do happen to find yourself in the yellow brick road, it usually means you have a high octane, high upside wide receiver for a flex. So that's and then your running back 2 position kind of turns into the the spot where you use your abilities to draft and hit on a guy later on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Another thing I like what I did is my top two receivers, Devontae Smith and Luther Burden, both have week 10 buys, making it even more important that I really loaded up at that position to make sure my depth is fine. I like how I'm going to wait one more pick because I'm one away to make sure I have this next player.
I know who you're taking.
You know?
I do, yeah.
It's actually,
I
might
won't
be
even
thinking one way because I don't know if you know which NFL team I like.
That's what I was thinking.
But you might be a little bit surprised here.
Yeah.
We're going to see. We got 8 seconds. Okay, so he took Corum. That's a good pick. I think Corum he has standalone value with contingent upside. I know you thought I was saying the Commander Jaden Daniels, but
no, Commander, but not Jaden Daniels.
You got it.
Frank, shots fired in the chat. I just got here, but how could someone stomach 2 top picks being Raiders? So Frank,
because Ashton Genty is going to be an absolute workhorse in a much improved offense with Clint Kubiak calling plays and either Kirk Cousins in a familiar scheme under center or first overall pick Fernando Mendoza under center. We saw Genty's flashes of upside when he popped off against the Texans. Brock Bowers, generational tight end. I think he's going to have a monster year with Kubiak really putting Bowers in positions to succeed. I get it. It's 2 Raiders. But I think the Raiders are headed in the right direction. And I think they'll be a little bit surprising, like on offense at least. As for my last pick, look how much these quarterbacks fell. I wanted Caleb. I was going to take him, where I took Pittman or even Tyson. But I see how these QBs fell, so I tried to play the move that maybe he'd fall to me. And I just like getting Caleb with Luther Burden as a pairing there. Year 2 in Ben Johnson's offense. He's a dual threat QB. I think mega upside, and I'm happy to get him at this pick.
Yeah, few thoughts there. AJ, I mean, I talked about it earlier in the show. I took 2 Raiders last year, and I still made the shootout. And the Raiders are much more improved this year. I mean, Clint Kubiak, he's proven himself. They have, good quarterback play. So the Raiders are going to be much more improved this year. I like the strategy there by Frank personally. It's a little bit different too. So that's what you want in these type of big field tournaments. There's one other thing I was going to add, but I forgot what the hell I was going to say. So let's keep moving on.
That's actually a good point because, a lot of people will probably, I don't want 2 Raiders, and they're going to just steer clear of that combo. It could be a rare combo. You're right.
Yeah. Actually, what I was going to say is, I have drafted in a lot of FFWC leagues over the past several years, and they just, NFFC just bought them out basically, and now they're merged over here. And they have their contest. By the way, if you can win the Pride Time and the Circuit Championship, you can win $1 million. So that's a little bonus there if you win both those contests. So if you want to try to take your shot. But in that format, FFWC, the quarterbacks always fell more so than, NFFC and even FFPC a little bit. Obviously, with the 6 points, it changes a little bit. But I feel like, some of those guys from the FFWC will be in somebody's drafts here. And they'll push these quarterbacks down maybe just a little bit more than usual than what we've seen in the NFFC. So that's just something to maybe look out for.
My pick just went. All right. We got to back to the drawing board. Tough spot for me. Let's see.
Good value on Harold Fannin. Ninth
Yeah.
round. I like ninth round Fannin, man. He's such a smash right there.
I know. I was thinking about taking him too, or like around earlier, but I'm gonna get a lot of Fannin. I'll be getting him. So
I did an early draft. I took him in at the 5-6 turn.
I mean, honestly,
now
I think he's worth. I think he's worth that, like 6-7.
But no, if you look at my team, that team that I did, it really didn't. I came away real happy with that draft. So I know there's going to be stronger Fannin teams, but that team was solid. That I remember that draft, but not. It's just funny how far he's fallen. We've seen him fall.
It's weird. It must be the narrative. There's gonna be too many cooks in the kitchen, or whatever. But I don't know.
See, I didn't like anyone who was at my pick at this time. Like, I know I need a running back badly, but like no one stands out. So I'm just gonna take who I think best available receiver and just add to my rotation of receivers. And like
he's the most talented receiver left. You're right, Frank. Jordan Addison. As far as talent,
I thought that maybe there was a chance he was going to come back to me. Remember, I was debating him at the 7-8 turn there.
Yeah. So like, am I going to force one of the running backs who it's fine value, but like none of them stand out to me, and it'll be like basically this team will be weekly fab will be about finding that RB2. So that's the way it's shaping out. And I'm cool with it.
All right. So this is where, do you want to stack or you don't want to stack comes into it. Obviously, Hurts is sitting there for me. And I do have Mekhi Lemon, who should be the number 2 guy there. You do got Goddard in the mix and Barkley and Devonta. And I do like Mekhi Lemon a lot. So it's a different type of stack. If Mekhi Lemon could have a big time rookie year, I do. When I really look at him, he kind of gives me into the way he plays. He's a clutch player. If you look at his college tape, he made a lot of big catches in big spots. And he reminds me of Puka just a little bit, the way he plays. A lot of energy, high energy player. So normally I would take a certain running back that's left, but I do have plenty of running backs. So I'm just going to take Jalen Hurts there to pair with him.
I like it.
In the 9th round. Yeah. And Hurts, I don't know. You got Frank, you may know better than me, but I think he's been like a top 7 quarterback pretty much every year he's been in the league.
He still had 33 total touchdowns last year, despite how horrible he was.
Yeah, I like that pick. I like pairing your QB with at least one of the receivers. You have Lemon. Like I said earlier, I think Sean Mannion at OC will help. I think Hurts is driven to show. Like, he's taking a lot of heat lately. The shine is worn off on him. So I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. Hurts does, and he'll have a good year.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take Dobbins, so I gave Sand a little bit of a layup there. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So, you could play both sides of the board. Do you want to prevent your opponents from getting a certain guy? Because Dobbins, I think, is a good value. He's always been a good value. But again, the guy misses like a month every single year. He says he's not going to miss any time this year. And he's due for an injury-free season, but it's just every single year the guy misses some time. But he's solid. He's in a good offense. So he's a good value every single year, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
I'm going to stack. I'm going to go ahead and take Trevor Lawrence here. Way he finished last season, he won a lot of people's fantasy championships. So Jaguars offense, Liam Cohen took over. I got Parker Washington, little correlation with Bashal Tutin. I may as well lean into it where I double tap Jacksonville Jaguars earlier. This offense could take another step forward this year if Brian Thomas can live up to his full potential. I think it's hard trying to figure out which exact wide receiver to pick, but one thing's for sure is Trevor Lawrence is a smash because of it. So I like that. And then I'm going to go Jalen Coker here.
Nice.
To add to my depth. as my wide receiver 5.
All right, comment in the chat from Billy says, does Frank know he needs to start 2 running backs as Frank has splashed the board
I do.
with the Lysol board for Frank.
So here's my response to that. So
when's he going with the pine?
a lot of the RB2s I like in like round 6 and onward were taken like Jonathan Brooks, Rashad White, and even like Ramondre Stevenson or Blake Corum. I wanted to take Rico Dowdle last round. I missed him by 2 picks. But no, I hear you. What was I gonna say? I have. Oh no, there. I was about to say I was gonna just take this guy that everyone hates right now, but he just went off the board. That's RJ Harvey. So definitely, RB2 is the work in progress. I'm gonna have to find it on the wire and hope one of my bench picks here pan out for RB2.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen guys do this in the past. They're splashing the board with a bunch of handcuff backups, rookie backs. They'll take 6, 7 in a row and just hope that like 2 or 3 of those guys hit. And then again, they'll be playing the board because it's easier to find a running back than a receiver during the year on the waiver wire or the fab market, I should say.
I still see 4 good running backs that could fall into good fortune on the board.
Yeah, I see it. I don't know if I want to I might continue to have this this risky play that I'm doing. We'll see. Let me see here. It's tough. I think I have no choice but to do this as my next pick. Let's take a look. So Mahomes off the board. There goes Concepcion.
Yeah, so I'm just taking a little stack there with Walker and Mahomes. And, like Parcells says, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. But I feel like I can mix those guys in, play matchups, and see how their season's going and how those stacks are going, and kind of ride that during the year. I'll feel it out and we'll get it going. So
I'm in a spot where I need someone who, at least if they're healthy, which assuming they are out of preseason, they have like a role right away. I know like when he's on the field, he's going to be the 1A. He's going to catch passes. He's proven. He's old. He's probably going to get injured, but I need that guy to get me over the hump early. So we're going to take Aaron Jones. Not someone I'm like really crazy about. It just fits this team. I need that.
He's still their best running back. So
yeah, so that was the move here, Aaron Jones.
I like it. I like the assessment. Good point on early season production.
Yeah, because I could take, let's say Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky, Marin. Apologize to name drop a player that's still there, but like, what if he's just a clear backseat to Rashad White early on in the year, and then I got a major hole? At least I know Aaron Jones is going to be involved right away. The challenge would be to obviously upgrade on that RB2. See, I like Keaton Mitchell just went as well, but again, like he could be a guy, especially early, he has like 4 or 5 carries first couple weeks. That's a major hole in RB2.
Joe, you want to answer this one? He says Trevor at 9-12 is a steal. Can you elaborate? Somebody taking Williams before Hurts, Trevor, Dak, typically against ECR. Again, not questioning, just curious.
I like Caleb Williams before Hurts because he's attached to a better offense. He's got Ben Johnson for another year established with Ben Johnson. They let go of DJ Moore, so now the targets are consolidated. The offense is what Ben Johnson wants it to be. You know that he was slowly fading out DJ Moore. But I'm a believer that DJ Moore is not washed. I just think he didn't fit what the offense was doing. wasn't used properly. That's fine. But I think him leaving makes the Chicago Bears offense even stronger. And everybody forgets Caleb Williams probably gives you between 4 and 5 points average weekly in rushing yards, points for rushing yards. So I like his upside.
I got to add to this too, because that was my pick. Yeah, everything you said, plus year 2 in Ben Johnson's offense, Caleb's got sky-high upside, dual threat, big-time playmaker. He makes those off-script plays, and I have Luther Burden, so I got that pairing there on the Bears that I wanted.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Frank, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize you took Caleb.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just had to add it. And, hey, remember, you could always question us. You could say, hey, what the hell was that shit pick? Don't worry about questioning us. You don't have to be polite. You could come at us. But yeah, I appreciate that, even though, but I get it. Caleb's unproven. I just am really taking a stand that Bears offense can take a major leap.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ben Johnson. The guy's one of the best offensive minds. The one thing I noticed about Caleb last year, from his rookie year to last year, he looked a lot quicker last year, avoiding sacks and just, getting out of the pocket. I thought his feet looked even quicker. So his rookie year, he was getting caught in the pocket a lot. Last year, he was getting out of the pocket. He was avoiding sacks left and right. And like Joe said, he gives you that rushing upside. He missed a ton of passes last year. There's no denying that. His completion percentage was not good. He skied a lot of balls, but that can continue to improve. And again, he's got Ben Johnson. He makes it very, very easy for you out there. So I think for a fantasy perspective, even though he's, still got some things to work on in his NFL game, pretty solid pick there by Frank.
Yeah. Almost 40% of DJ Moore's targets were uncatchable. It's funny you brought that up. I wanted to throw that in there too. I'm trying to get Frank going on the DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'm not in. I think he's on the decline, but I'll get to that in a sec. With the Commanders' backfield, I keep taking Rachaad White in my best ball draft, but we could take a shot on Bill here. Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt. Maybe he'll get involved. He had his moments. I mean, he had some decent games last season, and given my need at running back, he makes sense here.
The last couple of games of the year, he looked like he had a little bit of juice behind him. So when I saw them go out and get Rachaad White, I was like, ooh, now I don't know what to think, because I really like Rachaad White.
Yeah.
We know he can play all 3 downs. He's proven it before. He's a great pass catcher. He can pass block. It's a complete running back. So it kind of put the flame that was finally starting to go for Bill. He kind of put it out right away just by signing. So, but
yeah, I like Rachaad White. I think he's the back you want in this backfield. But it's not like White's going to be like just this usage monster. Like, there'll be a change of pace, and like we said, and we saw it in that game against the Cowboys at the end of the year. Bill had that big game. He's got some bursts, so I took a shot there. Add some running back depth.
Interesting here. Joe, I'm going to leave something on the board for you. Thank you. I need a receiver.
Yeah, right. I got Sander and Souza picking ahead of me. Oh, I should have name drop. You ain't leaving anything on the board for me.
I need another receiver, so I'll take Jalen McMillan. Again, this guy had a strong end to the 2024 year. Broke his neck 2025. I like his talent. So we'll see how Baker does. He was a little bit banged up last year. They lost Canales and they lost Cohen. Now they got another new coordinator there. So, I don't know. Maybe losing all these coordinators is affecting Baker a little bit, but we'll see. I do need a tight end still. This is not good for me. But we'll make it work.
Damn.
Likely.
Problem is, there's 3 guys I want to pick. I only have 2 picks.
Hey, can't get greedy now. You got to choose the Twix and the Butterfinger or the Heath bar. I don't know, whichever one. You got to make that tough selection there.
Well, you're taking, yeah, I wanted Jalen McMillan too, though. I'm big on him this year. I got to grab my handcuff first. Yeah. Chris Rodriguez.
All right.
Now what do I do? Do I want to stack some more Jaguars? No, because I don't think if Kraft hits, I don't think I'll ever start Brenton Strange at even down the stretch. So I'll add to my wide receiver room and I'll take a shot at a potential number 2 target in his offense, number 1 wide receiver. Frank was talking him up on the Fantasy Football Show. I really like the bold prediction with Fernando Mendoza, Frank. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jalen Naylor. Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, Will Miles in the chat says most team have holes to fill, Billy. Keyword most, former OC winner here. Online championship. So shout out to Will Miles. Has been on Joe's show a couple times. Aces up every Tuesday night. Joe did a great show last night with Duke Viveros. Breaking, I actually caught the tail end, but then I watched the beginning of it.
We did another 3 hours.
Very good show. Very good show.
2 weeks in a row, 3 hours, Frank.
Ooh, nice.
One with Nelson Souza and this week with Duke Viveros.
Nice.
If you missed it, I suggest taking a listen because especially the Nelson one. Nelson really shared a lot of
that was a good one too.
A lot of good insights.
Oh, that's good. I'll have to check it out.
It's really interesting to hear how these guys with 100+ lineups get it done in their process. I mean, it's just insane to me because I did like 40, 50 leagues with everything like this and home leagues, and I was completely shot by the end of the year.
Yeah.
These guys, I guess maybe their kids are older. It's a little bit easier for them. That's what Duke was kind of saying. Like, he doesn't have kids running around. It's just kind of him.
Yeah.
And, so he's retired and everything. So it's just a little bit easier. But still, it's still crazy to me because it's a lot of work, man. It's like a real freaking job.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You heard Nelson. He sits in a seat and he doesn't move on Tuesdays. Or Wednesdays, whatever day it is. He's in that. He's 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 p.m. when the waivers run. It's nuts, and his wife brings him treats. Gotta love
it. Love it. There goes my next pick, Tyrone Tracy. Good.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I got Cam, so I had to take him.
He was the third guy. I was thinking, but you know what? It was smart for me to lock up Rodriguez. I think. Based on the build that I have. I like Tracy, though. Plus, I probably drafted him too much already, too. So,
yeah, if Cam, ends up in the marshes somewhere in the Meadowlands or something, I could throw Tyrone Tracy there.
Yeah, and hey, he's an injury risk. And I took Algier just because, I don't think they paid him just to put him to the sideline. Obviously, Love is the guy. Love is a stud, but I think Algier could have a bit of standalone value where he can poach away some touchdowns. And then if Love misses time, Algier would have a big bump in value. I think he's a good pick there for me.
Like that. I like that comment by Josh. That's a great comment.
Yeah, Steve G. He's been jumping on the live streams, very entertaining. He's got a lot of takes, and he goes pretty hard on them all.
I like Steve, man. Such a good guy.
He is a good guy. From New York, owns a restaurant in New York City.
Yeah, he makes me want to drive there and go. It's like a little over a 4-hour drive for me.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
not terrible. All right. So, Frank takes 3 running backs in a row there. Jones, Krosky, Merritt, and then Algier. What are your thoughts there, Frank, on the Washington backfield?
Yeah, so
White or what?
Yeah, I like Rashad White, best pass protector. He's a good receiver out of the backfield, college teammates with Jaden Daniels. He's someone I've been taking quite often, but given how far I waited in RB2, given that, hey, even though I think White will be, the lead back, we have to acknowledge that, White lost his job with the Bucks. It's not like he's this entrenched stud. So given my need at running back, took a shot on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who, he had some flashes as a rookie. So just rolling the dice there. Definitely running back is my weak spot in a big way. Needing Genty to really carry that and Aaron Jones to stay healthy as long as possible and then hit one of these bench RBs that I got here. But, I got Bowers. I'm happy with Caleb at QB. And I think my receiver core is kind of got some nice depth. Smith, Burden, Harrison, Pittman, Addison, and Tyson.
Yeah, I agree. Team 9, by the way, goes with another Bill and Dalton Kincaid. So he's got the quadruple stack there now and also takes Harry Fannin. So, I mean, I don't like the Mason pick, but outside of that, I think he's really doing a heck of a job. And it's definitely unique build there. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to go quadruple stack on the Bills.
Mason as an RB3 is all right, though.
Yeah,
it's not like he's 0 RB to Mason.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I liked him coming into last year, and I just kind of gave up on him. I gave up on him, Mason. I feel like San Francisco made him look better than he really was. So I don't know how much upside he really has, but the offense should be better this year with Murray. You would hope so. Anyway, you really never know. But reports are that according to Ian Rappaport, that this job is going all the way to the end of training. I mean, this competition is going, all the way to the end of training camp. So I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Justin Jefferson's going to determine who wins that. And we already know who won. Come on. They went out and signed Kyler Murray.
He would have to really look like shit in camp for it to go there.
Yeah.
And McCarthy would have to take big strides,
I still think I know this talking about my last pick, but I think Tyjae Spears, if he just gets a little bit more of a role, can be decent in fantasy. Like, he's had some games. Like, last year he had a game 9 for 59 and a touchdown where he added 3 catches for 23 yards. He had another game, 52 yards and a touchdown, then 53 through the air. He's a good pass catcher. Pollard's getting older. I think, honestly, Spears is just a perfect fit for my weakness at RB2.
I think he's gonna have mid to late season value, Frank. So I like the pick based on your build. I do think Pollard is the early season back. I also like Nick Singleton as a prospect. So I do think that both of those running backs are going to be worked in as the season goes on, especially if they start losing games and they, say they're like 3-9 or 3-8 or something like that. I think you could definitely see Tony Pollard getting eased back a little bit. Not, obviously he'll still be involved, but and then who knows what can happen, between now and then,
Yeah.
Spears could fall into, it could be a 50-50 split with Singleton if Pollard that,
And just because that full PPR value, like, he catches passes out of the backfield, even if he's just a change of pace, he has one of those games where he catches 4 balls for 30 yards, rushes for 20. At least it gives me somewhat of a floor at RB2 if I'm in a pinch, like Aaron Jones is hurt or something like that.
And that's what you want to do with your build. You took all those receivers. You just got to take a chance on these running backs along the time, along as the season goes, just getting into the lineup at some point and giving you productive weeks. And then again, you can figure some things out on the waiver wire as well. So
yeah.
All right. Pacheco. What are you guys' thoughts on Pacheco? Well, I'll go you, Frank. Joe's up for back-to-back here. What are your thoughts on Pacheco filling that Montgomery role there in Detroit?
I think Pacheco, he looked awful last season. He couldn't really beat out Kareem Hunt for carries. I don't really like the signing by the Lions there. And, if the Cardinals opt to cut one of those running backs they have in that log jam, say they cut James Conner, Conner goes to reunite with Drew Petzing, former Cardinals OC, now calling plays for the Lions. I mean, who would you rather have, Connor or Pacheco? I think even with Connor's injuries last year, I'd go Connor there. And then I saw a report today that what's his name, Sion Vaki, the other running back there, taken to Pacheco. Just not a real fan of him. I know he had his moments, but I think those are behind us. And
yeah, he was a 7th round pick. So.
Yeah.
Good points there. He is kind of stale.
Yeah.
He's got a good opportunity, that's for sure. But he is kind of stale. He has burned fantasy owners. He's, like you said, Hunt outproduced him last year, which is not a good sign. So yeah, it's more just kind of like, let me just take him and just build a little bit of depth in my backfield kind of pick at this point in the 13th round. And you can see there he takes Kamara as well. Kind of a similar stale type pick, but he's just trying to build some depth there and hoping for something in a good offenses there.
All 3 picks that went, those are the 3 I was debating. It's great.
Which ones?
Murray, Kamara, Rams. I'm like, which one do I want? Which one do I want?
Okay, gotcha.
The Rams, you get that first look.
And
they're a top defensive unit.
Oh yeah, the first look. I forgot about that shit.
That's what you think about when the 17th and 18th round, Frank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the NFFC has drafts, past the opener. So they give everybody an opportunity to utilize players that start in the Thursday night game and the Friday night game. And
Wednesday night.
Oh, it's Wednesday night this year. Is insane. So you could utilize those guys and put them in your lineup and decide what you want to do. If they have a shitty game, you don't have to put them in. If they have a good game, you can put them in. So it's pretty cool that they do that. It's kind of a way to work around. I'm 30 seconds on the clock here. All right, Joe, I might have to go to your boy here. He reminds me too much of Jared Cook, but I mean, it's just sitting in my lap here. I do need another receiver too, though. But I'll take a chance on it. He's in a good offense. I need another tight end.
I like it.
He showed some flashes last year, had good productivity at Syracuse. So yeah, Rondé Gadsden, former NFL receiver, Rondé Gadsden from the Dolphins, his son. So yeah, why not?
We see Team 3 go elite kicker, elite defense.
Oh, interesting.
In round 13 and round 14.
Yeah, the Rams. I mean, honestly, Aubrey is like, I don't know if he's going anywhere. Like he'll be solid for a long time, I think. I mean, the guy just banks 70 yarders like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then the Rams defense with Myles Garrett. I mean, that just seems like it almost seems like, when you're playing a video game and you're like adding all these superstars, like they got the Chiefs corners now and McDuffie and everything. So it's just like, it just seems like a defense that makes sense to go after. The only thing I don't like about that is you got to start those guys every week and you got to like hold on to them all year. But I guess, you say whatever, I'll take a chance on them. If they're a stud, I'll keep them. If they suck, whatever, by week 6 or some injuries, I'll just cut them and I'll stream. But you could take the chance on a defense like the Rams this year, really, really being top notch.
Oh yeah.
And at this point, again, there's not much on the board, so it makes sense.
Damn, that's early for the Patriots. What
the defenses are flying off the board.
Wow.
Okay.
I took Cam Ward here because if you really look at the Titans, they draft Carnell Tate, they bring in Wan'Dale Robinson, Brian Dable now calling plays. You look at the backfield, Pollard's getting older. If Spears were forced into more of a role, you could see that team going really pass heavy, playing from behind. And Cam Ward, even though he really struggled, I think coaching hurt him a lot and the lack of supporting cast, and they really significantly upgraded it. And we talked about how in this scoring, it gives a bump to those pocket high volume passers. I think Ward could be airing it out. And, I like Caleb, but we have to acknowledge he's still relatively unproven. So getting a backup is nice.
By the way, 6 spots left in the 10 p.m. OC. If anyone wants to run it back, Jeff just shouted that out in the chat. We just saw George Halani go. He's getting a lot of steam. With Charbonnet expected to hit the pup early on in the season. So, they're kind of wondering how that backfield is going to shake out early on between Price, Emmanuel Wilson, and Halani. Halani has been getting bumped up in these drafts recently. All right, Frank, you're back up again after the Cam Ward pick. Your Cam Ward pick, yeah, I mean, I feel like when I watched Cam Ward, I was like, he feels like he's just going to get better and better and better as he continues in the league. And, there were some struggles last year for sure. But, again, the weapons weren't great. They bring in Carnell Tate, which is, obviously a big-time move. So I feel like we should see – and he finished the season pretty good last year. So I feel like he's definitely going to be much improved. Like you said, Dable's in town now to help him out as well. So, I just feel like he's going to get better and better. All right, you're up, man.
All right, I'm up here. Good pick there, Jaden Blue. But I'm going to take a guy that I think is the best handcuff for Kenneth Walker.
There you go.
Kenneth Walker, throughout his career, I know he played a lot last year, didn't miss much time, but he always feels banged up and
all the time.
Something's always lingering. So taking a shot on Emmett Johnson, the rookie. I believe I saw a quote. Andy Reid compared him to LaShawn McCoy. Let me see.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a quote, unless I'm mistaken.
I got to go back and watch him a little bit. I watched a little bit of him. I wasn't crazy impressed, but I only watched a few minutes. I got to watch a little bit more of him for sure. But
the quote was Andy Reid said he sees a little bit of that shiftiness and movement style that LaShawn McCoy had. He likes the way Emmett Johnson pass protects and catches the football. I mean, at this stage in the draft, I need these lottery ticket dart throws at running back. So we'll go with Johnson.
Yeah, they do have Amari DeMarcado and Brashard Smith, who I was waiting on all freaking season long last year. Yeah. It never happened. I thought it was going to be a Jerick McKinnon type thing, but it just never happened.
It's crowded, but this was a case of me just going with the shiny new toy. And, DeMarcado had played before him, but, we saw the Cardinals use Michael Carter with DeMarcado. Probably if there was an injury, it wouldn't just be DeMarcado. I just went with the shiny new toy.
Yeah, I got you. And you like that quote from Andy Reid. That's a good little quote there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Travis Hunter, Frank?
Oh, at this stage of the draft, that's a nice pick. Just swinging for the fences. Hey, his last game we saw him, we went off for over 100 yards. I know it's a crowded room, but this stage of the draft especially, you want to be really swinging for a home run.
Yeah, he kind of started that, Lawrence resurgence because he was the Parker Washington before Parker Washington was going over the middle all the time. And then they brought in Jacoby Myers too. But like you said, he had that 100-yard game and he was showing those flashes and then he was gone. He was out the rest of the year. And then they bring in Myers and Parker Washington, obviously. But that's where Lawrence was going. He was going over the middle and that was kind of his bread and butter. So, I don't know. We'll see. It sounds like he's still going to get some work. On the offense, it's going to be balanced. We'll see. I don't know how much they're going to work it in. I always felt like he was a better corner than a receiver. He could really just shine as a corner. They could really need him there. So he could play 70-30 or 80-20. But if there's a couple injuries to the receiving room, then he goes back to the other side a little bit more. And then there you go. So, like you said, Frank, I think at this point, for the talent that this guy has, didn't he win the Blitnikoff Award in college? So, I mean, why not? I mean, at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ooh, tight end.
So team 3 with the 0 tight end approach ends up with Likely and Terrence Ferguson.
I get it, but it's going to be tough.
I like the Terrence Ferguson pick.
But that's a perfect combo. with likely is to go Ferguson.
Report today that Ferguson could be the wide receiver 3 in that offense.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, obviously, now we're getting into training camp. The quotes are starting to pop out a little bit more next week. It's going to get really serious. Things are going to change real fast. All the hype's going to come from these reporters. Things are going to move crazy. So, this board is going to look a lot different in 2 or 3 weeks, I think. Our boy Jay Wimmers says late to the party tonight. Big fan of the show. Joe did have him on as well. So again, go check that out. Joe's bringing all the all-stars here from the NFFC every single week on the sports affiliation channel on his show Aces Up. So Joe's doing a hell of a job there.
That was my goal. Get all these masters that hide behind their computer.
Bring them out to the forefront, right?
Well, Nelson and them boys go on. They do their shows, but I wanna dig out some of the guys that don't do content and bring them on here and talk about what their process and their strategy and how they approach the game. Because everybody is really good in the NFFC for the most part, the regulars.
Oh yeah.
Frank, you're up. Did you just take you're up right now. Okay. You're coming up next. Yeah. I'll get your thoughts after your pick.
Except for Mike Sander, man. Mike won't come on.
I asked Mike last year or 2 years ago. I was like, do you want to come on? Because me and him kind of interact a little bit. Yeah, he's just, we'll get him on. We'll get him on. I'm
not buying the I don't like being on camera excuse because my guy is an extra in TV shows and movies and shit. So, you gotta come up with something. Right? You gotta come up with something else, Mike. Like, what's the did you really develop a because you're a retired IT architect? I'm calling you out right now. Did you really develop a program that's like more advanced than what like Jacob Gibbs and Ryan Heath have? And you're just hiding it and you're not sharing it with anyone. And it's just a matter of variance why you haven't won 3 overall titles in one season yet. Like
he doesn't want to reveal his, he's staying close to the cuff. He's kind of like that. He's kind of like that guy in Cleveland, staying in the house. He doesn't want to reveal what's going on, man. He wants to keep all his secrets. He probably doesn't want to come out. By the way, Team 9, man, little wink there, he'll be on one of the shows pretty soon too, but he's killing it. I love what he's doing with his draft. I think, his last pick, Katron Allen, I like him a lot too. I feel like he may have, it may take a little while, but he may have a nice little role in that offense.
I have a ton of them in best ball.
Yeah, I got to do. I've been starting to gear up best ball a little bit more.
Yeah. He's one of my late round targets in best ball.
Yeah, I like it.
I always have loved Sean Tucker. Like, look what he does when he gets a little bit more usage. Look at that game against the Bills. That massive
good pick there. Yeah,
it is a good pick. I would have taken him if Charbonnet wasn't there, but Charbonnet fits my build because technically I only have 3 running backs. You know what I mean? If I get the Jacksonville backfield, Jordan Love and Jahmyr Gibbs. So I consider it.
Sean Tucker. Those couple games when Bucky was hurt and, he stepped in and he was their goal line back down the stretch too.
Yeah.
He might still be their goal line back.
Yep. See, I took Tank Dell there. I did want to get either Katron or Vidal. I thought one of them would come back to me. It didn't happen. So I got 5 running backs. Now I got to build a little bit more depth here at the running back position.
Mike made a comment, highlighted. It's a ton of fun, Mike. You got to join the fun, man. It's like hanging out at Vaccaro's bar, except you're in front of your computer.
There he is. Always has great quote. The Sandman. All right, here's the ugly vet.
The Sandman. Yeah, the Sandman is he's dropping some really good nuggets on X for sure. Some detailed stuff. So check him out on X.
Learn a lot from Mike, man.
If Mike was like 30, 40 years younger, he'd probably be like a big star at fantasy points.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're probably right about that.
Definitely would.
He's told me he's turned down a bunch of offers because
really?
he's retired.
Turned it down.
He's like I don't need to work anymore. He told me he's like I don't. I don't want a job. He's like, job? What's that? I don't want a job.
How do you like my Titan stack that I'm building? The backdoor one. Cam Ward, Tyjae Spears, Calvin Ridley. So Ridley, yeah, he's done, but like he just a depth piece at the end. He had a 130-yard game last year. The year before that, he had a nice little stretch, improved offense, just like finish out the receiver room with someone who has a bit of a track record.
You never know. Maybe Tate kind of lights a fire in his ass a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always loved Ridley. The past couple seasons haven't been good. He does seem like he's falling off. But again, 17th round, Calvin Ridley. I mean, how could you really argue with that? This guy's a former first-round pick out of Alabama, and he's what? How old is he? 29?
31.
31. Okay. But he's still not that old.
I like having, like, just a pairing with Cam Ward. You know, if that the offense, I probably will never even have to start Ridley just because he's my receiver 7. But I think it's good depth.
Yeah, I took Genty's partner in crime there, Mike Washington Jr. It sounds like he may earn a little bit of a role there in the Raiders offense. We'll see. Talented rookie out of Arkansas. So we'll see. You know, 17th round. I need another running back. So that's what I went with.
I'm gonna take Joey Brown's guy. Dontavia Wicks.
Oh, nice. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, Mekhi Lemon is good, but he's undersized. I think Dontavian Wicks is the biggest wide receiver in that room. Joey makes a good point when he brings that up. Contingent upside as well if Devonta Smith takes on more volume and can't handle it. We know he's a little guy as well. Could get banged up. It's possible. So I like a late round flyer on Dontavian Wicks. And another point that Joey makes is the Howie Roseman. If he went out and signed somebody, he's got a good hit rate on player selection for his roster. So and I'm just gonna go all Jaguars, I guess. Let me grab the kicker while I'm at it. I got the kicker, I got the defense, I got the tight end, I got the running back, the quarterback, and Parker Washington.
I like it. I like getting stacks.
I gotta come up with a team name now. It's gonna I think it's gonna revolve around Lamb
Duval.
No, that's too obvious. I'll come up with
Jacksonville, the city.
I
was gonna say, have you guys seen? I'm up on the clock. Hold on. What do I need? I got one more positional player left here. Shit.
That means around week 4, week 5, I'll be combing waivers like a mother. Looking for people to fill in.
Frank, I'm gonna take a guy from your Titans stack.
No.
Gunnar Helton.
That was my next pick. I wanted to complete the stack.
I needed him.
I was gonna say, why do you need 3 tight ends? But then I looked.
Yeah.
So exactly. I guess.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, if you take an early quarterback or an early tight end, then you don't have to worry about taking these, 2-3 quarterbacks or 2-3 tight ends, sometimes. But, it is what it is. You take a chance and hopefully one of these guys can pop off.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was thinking back to what you said, Joe, what you said about Mike when he said he turned it down. Have you guys have seen that clip, right? Or that rapper, he went on that show and he's saying he turned it down. Big band in actually, Joe, your name should be Big Band in Jacksonville. That'd be the perfect freaking thing. You guys never seen that clip? Is that viral clip?
No, I didn't see that one.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. I gotta pull it up. It's hilarious, man. I can't believe you guys haven't seen this thing.
James Conner. That's who I should have took. I should have laid it on kicker.
All right, we're gonna pivot to Greg Dulcich, wide open.
I like it
for volume. Obviously, he's only there for Bowers' bye, but I wanted to have backup at each position.
So
it's good value on him too. I think he usually goes a little bit earlier than that, Frank.
All right.
He usually goes behind. Ahead of Bonner and Helm.
You guys aren't up for a while, so I'm going to play this clip. This guy, the reason is why it's so hilarious because it's the biggest amount of bullshit you ever heard in your life, and it's just so obvious. It makes it so hilarious. So here it is. Hold on.
Where'd you go to college?
I ain't go to college.
Oh shit! My bad.
Where'd you go to college?
I ain't go to college, but I turned it down.
Oh,
Yeah, I turned it down just to do this, just to grind from the rap.
so you had an opportunity to do the drumming thing.
A
in
scholarship
college.
and everything.
Where at?
I think it was like in Jacksonville.
Mm.
A big band in Jacksonville. It was a big college though, and they offered me like 15, something like 10 million or something like that, 5 million, something like that.
Wait.
A scholarship.
$5 million. They offered you $5 million to play the drum.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Like what for y'all? Like you know what I'm saying? But I was so younger. Like
Wait.
I didn't know what it was.
Are you sure they offered you $5 million?
I turned it down. Like I had to go to school for this decade.
But you would get $5 million?
Yeah, it was somewhere. It was in the millions though.
Where'd you go to college?
So he said he said he had to go to school for this decade. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm surprised you guys never seen that.
No, I never seen that one. That's funny. Let me see. Hold on, I'm on the clock. All right. This one's a bit on a limb, but I think Jesse Minter is going to improve this defense. Took the Ravens. They play the Colts week 1. Maybe Daniel Jones isn't ready yet, and they got to go with Riley Leonard. So took a shot. Let's see what kicker I'm going to take.
Garrett Wilson is my homie. Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson. You guys remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell was that? What was that show? I remember
Dennis the Menace, maybe?
Oh yeah, Dennis the Menace. Yeah, that's I forget that. Mr. Wilson. Yeah. I was calling my friend's son Dennis the Menace because his name's Little Dennis. I was calling him Dennis the Menace. I just saw. All right, I'm gonna go with I don't think they have a great week 1 matchup, but I'll go with Rabbit Dad, firing up the Vikings defense. He was on the show the other night, and Brian Flores bringing the heat week 1, maybe mix some things up. Take them as my defense.
Yeah.
I got nobody in my queue. Got to do something here.
Who the hell am I going to take a kicker?
Imagine getting offered $15 million to play the drums at some big band in big band school in Jacksonville. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. $15 million. But yeah, Joe, I think that's a good team name for you. Big band in Jacksonville, man.
I always hate deciding on the kicker.
Yeah, this is the boring part of the draft. This is like, oh, it's all over now. Time to go home.
Take a free look, kicker, and then if he doesn't do good, you can drop him and pick somebody up Saturday night.
There you go.
Yeah. I think they're all gone though. They are. No.
Sorry, let me bring the board back up. My bad, fellas.
Everybody's on the rookie wide receivers that got drafted. I'm going to take a late round flyer on Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Never know. could be a much better offense.
Why not? I mean, the guy had 9 touchdowns 2 years ago, and Lamar had a shit year last year. So yeah, could bounce back. I like it.
He owes it to me. I forget what year I took him in the 4th round, but I think I finished in 10th place that year on that team. So he owes me one. So we'll see if he pays off as a dot throw.
That wouldn't be good for Zay Flower owners because he stole all Zay's touchdowns a couple years ago.
We'll see. I just it's a little bit of an ambiguous situation with the new offense and a new motivated Lamar. So
yeah,
and it's something different too, which is good.
Yeah, I don't think people are taking him. They're taking the rookies. Yeah.
And you kind of want to do that. You want to take some shots here in the 18th, 19th round and get ahead of the waiver wire sometimes.
Yeah, just because I don't think you should go undrafted, I'll take a 3rd tight end in Dalton Schultz.
There you go. That's a good pick right there. And Duke did that the other night. I thought it was great. I mean, the guy's very, very productive. I mean, he'll give you some really good weeks.
Yeah.
So Kraft's out a little long, and that's there you go.
Yeah, a little security blanket for the. I don't normally like to do 3 tight ends, but I guess this is my first Tucker Kraft share, so this will be my first 3 tight end team, and as a result.
Yeah, I like it.
I like to add the 3rd tight end as the season goes on, if I have to.
JC doesn't like that pick there, Joe.
Yeah, he hates Bateman. I know that. We've done enough best balls live streams in the last year.
Another name for you, Joe. The Bates Motel. There you go.
Wow, listen,
there you go. Zay Flowers was talking them up about how the offensive coordinator's been getting them involved. So, I like Zay Flowers. I feel like he's a genuine dude. So I'm going to take that with a little more than a grain of salt. And it's worth a round 19 sprinkle.
This one's for Josh and Dan. Bengals kicker, baby. Let's go. Bengals kicker. All right. Take it. Is that who the hell is their kicker? Can't remember his name.
What, McPherson? I think?
Oh yeah, McPherson. He's pretty good. He's pretty solid.
Good.
Yeah. If I played him in that Turkey Day fucking thing, I would have won the 10,000 first place if I picked him as my kicker. That's how close I was to that, Frank.
Damn.
I was a kicker off. I know everybody's one player off when they're in the top 25, but a kicker, though. A kicker.
Yeah, shit. Here's a question for you. If you took a free look kicker, what minimum points would you have to get for you to
12?
Stick with
I think 11 or 12 does it for
not
me.
10? Not like right at double digits? Well, that's a free look other kicker.
I would have to see who's on the free agent list and then make a decision if 10 was good. But I would want 11 or 12. I'm greedy.
All right. I think
I like 8. Give me 8.
Yeah, I think 8.
Give me 8. I'm good with 8. I'll make the rest of my team, a kicker can't try to carry my team. If I'm actually like 10, 12, my team's not doing that so hot. Give me 7 or 8 and I'm happy for my kicker. I don't give a shit.
Somebody said 10, yeah. Somebody said 10.
10's a bonus. 10's a bonus. Like I feel like if you get 10 from your kicker, you're living pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like when I see double digit with the kicker, I'm like, oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what you want ideally. That's true. Wow, Bryce Lance, last pick in the draft. Trey Lance's brother, receiver from New Orleans, another North Dakota State player. Also see Chris Brazell go. Haven't been seeing him go too much. And we got a Keenan Allen in the last round. So we got some interesting picks here in the last round.
Team 12 is a former overall champion, too. Just want to throw that out there. And he's also probably about a half an hour, maybe a half an hour, 20-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now.
Wow. Shout out to Team 12 for winning the OC. What was that? How long ago was that, Joe? Do you remember?
3 or 4 years ago, maybe. I don't remember the exact year. Plus, I don't want to single him out in case he doesn't want to be singled out.
Gotcha. Yeah, he does take Amari DiMercato and then Bryce Lance. So, a little bit of unusual picks. Again, that's what you want to do. Towards the end of these drafts, you take a hit on some of these guys and you get ahead of the waiver wire after week 1. Maybe one of these guys blows up, and then If not, you just drop them and you go after something else. That's all. So it's not a big deal.
Draft.
All right. Hey, Frank, let's, just go over your draft real quick and break it all down for everybody.
All right. So we started at the top, Ashton Genty. I think he's going to be a workhorse. Obviously, well, we all know that, but I just really love the hiring of Clint Kubiak. I think he's going to help that Raiders offense quite a bit. We saw what Kubiak did with the Seahawks last year, and even, like you said earlier, early in the year with the Saints previous season to last, he was quite good as well. I'm a big believer in him. And we saw Genty's flashes of brilliance against the Texans. Then I added Bowers, my favorite pick in the draft. I think he's going to have a record-setting season. Let's look at that receiver room, very limited. Then I went like heavy receivers. Love Devontae Smith, increased volume. Luther Burden's got a ton of upside in year 2. Marvin Harrison, I'm still a believer at 24 years old. Continue with receiver, upside shot with Jordan Tyson. Heavy, high draft capital, big upside. But I backed that up with some floor with Michael Pittman, who's a nice fit with Aaron Rodgers. Love that Caleb Williams fell to me all the way in the 8th round, pairing him with Luther Burden. Love Caleb with that supporting cast year 2 Ben Johnson offense. Jordan Addison was just another depth piece, best receiver available. Wasn't a huge fan of the running backs remaining. My RB2 is really weak, but I needed early season projectable volume. I got that with Aaron Jones. He'll at least be in a committee, catches passes. Then it was just a series of dart throws, hoping I can hit on one to give me some usable weeks. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Tyler Algier, Tyjae Spears, at least he's a good pass catcher. Emmett Johnson, Sean Tucker. Finish it off, backup Cam Ward. He could air it out in that offense. Brian Dable calling plays, upgrades with Carnell Tate and Wan'Dale Robinson. Ward showed flashes, but I think his disappointing rookie year statistically had to do with coaching a little bit too and lack of weapons. Finishing it off, backup tight end Greg Dulcich. Look at that Dolphins receiver room. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Then you finish to conclude, not getting too long-winded here, but Ravens defense, just about Jesse Minter, I think can bring out more out of them. And then New England Patriots kicker just because of the free look. And, Mike Vrabel settling for field goals maybe. He's a more conservative coach.
All right. Sounds good, Frank. I like it. Joe, quick synopsis from your team. I'll go over my team real quick. Then maybe we'll look at the board briefly. And then I just want to ask Frank a couple things, and then we'll get out of here.
All right. I just want to say before I run through my players, my initial plan was to ham a wide receiver after Gibbs. I had to adjust a little bit based on how the draft fell to me. So we start with Jahmyr Gibbs at number 1 pick. I can't go wrong with either Gibbs or Bijan. I lean Gibbs based on the Detroit defense being bad. They have solid quarterback play. Montgomery's gone, and their strength of schedule is great. So I take Gibbs there. Follow it up with Garrett Wilson. I know this was a little bit of a reach, but in the 3rd round reversal, I explained it early in the draft, but I'll explain it again. The 3rd round reversal, you make 1 pick there. You don't get 2 picks. So you got to really make it count. I wanted George Pickens or Rashee Rice. Those were my top two options there. They both went before me. So now I got to make a decision between basically Trey McBride, Garrett Wilson, or Chris Olave. I have a Chris Olave share already. And I figured a high volume alpha wide receiver really pairs well with the number 1 pick overall, Gibbs. So that's why I pushed him up. I don't hate it. I liked it. So Garrett Wilson there. When it comes back to me for the 3-4 turn, I go Christian Watson for upside. Dobbs is gone. Wicks is gone. Offense is more consolidated. Josh Jacobs is a year older. I think that they finally need to let Jordan Love open up a little bit, throw some more. So yeah, I like the high upside for Watson. Jeremiah Love kind of falls into my lap here. I don't think I can pass on him. I don't want to stack Watson with Jacobs, so I'm not interested in Josh Jacobs there. So I take another upside swing with Jeremiah Love there to pair with Gibbs. Early in draft season, Billy Waz he's listening now. He took Jeremiah Love in the second round to pair with Jahmyr Gibbs. And I texted him and I said, dude, you don't think that that's a little bit early? And his answer was, yeah, I'm not too crazy about it. But when you have a chance to pair a Jahmyr Gibbs with Jeremiah Love, you got to take it. So I'll throw that out there and say that, fourth round Love to pair with Gibbs is great. When it comes back to me at the 5-6 turn, the best players available were the two Jacksonville players, in my opinion. I think stacking them together gives me even more upside. Games where they pop. That's an offense you want pieces of. You don't necessarily know who's going to be the number one wide receiver there. It could be spread out a little bit, but Parker Washington makes sense. Bishal Tootin gives me a really strong 3 running back start and gives me some flex options. So where I didn't hammer wide receiver all the way through after Gibbs, I have flexibility. Round 7, round 8, I've been saying it for a couple of shows now. Tucker Kraft feels like a free square in the 7th, 8th, 9th round range. That's where he's been going. There's so many tight ends, fallback tight ends in the mid rounds that you can tack on to pair with him. If he never gets hurt and he's fully healthy, he's up there in the 4th round with Colson Love in 4th, 5th round range, in my opinion. So that's why I say free square in round 7. Wan'Dale Robinson, another safe floor play. Frank, you brought it up earlier. The game scripts are going to favor the passing game. They could have a lot of passing attempts. The Brian Dable comes in much better play caller than what they had last year. Plus, I think Cam Wood showed a lot of positive signs as the season went on. So I'm optimistic as a whole for this offense, just like you are, Frank. So Wan'Dale Robinson as a wide receiver 4 looks good. I think, somebody's mentioned it in the chat. 9-10 turn Trevor Lawrence is a gift. The way he finished out last year, the way he fits my build, it's kind of like the elbow card. If you guys play 7-card stud and you get the elbow card where you're about to win, you get that 6th card. I feel like he was an elbow card for my team. After that point, I needed to add a little bit of wide receiver depth. So Jalen Coker, Jalen Naylor, grabbed my handcuff and Chris Rodriguez. I almost took Bretton Strange at the 11-12 turn. He ended up falling back to me in round 13, so I'm really glad I didn't do that. I got him at a bit of a discount. Backup quarterback, Kyler Murray. Love his upside this year. I think he's a great pairing with Trevor Lawrence. I think that he's entering the best situation he's ever had. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jawan Jennings, even having Aaron Jones, a veteran running back. I know he's a bit on the older side, but having a veteran running back there with him as well. Kevin O'Connell's pretty good, decent coach and staff there. So I think Kyler Murray could have a career year if he stays focused and healthy. Charbonnet fall into me based on my build. I needed some running back depth. I know I'm going to have to be patient with him. Maybe he can be a late season hammer, help me in the shootout. So it's my first share of him as well. So I grabbed them. Seahawks, Rams, Texans, Patriots defense all gone. Those were basically my targets. I'm not a big believer in the Broncos defense for fantasy. I think that they're more of a floor play than a ceiling play in fantasy football, but their real NFL defense is obviously good. So Jacksonville, I like their week 1 matchup, and they were the next on my list. If I didn't take them there, I'd probably punt D and just take whoever's available around 20. But I went with them. Dontavian Wicks provides depth. I think he's got contingent upside if something happens to one of either or Devonta Smith and Mekhi Lemon. I also think he's the biggest wide receiver there, so he could be a red zone threat. Don't know when he'll find the lineup, but I like him at this point in the draft. Jaguars kicker is probably got the second biggest leg in the league, attached to a good offense. And why not add some more Jaguars to my team? And then round 19, dot throw on Rashad Bateman. I feel like nobody's picking him. Everybody's taking Surratt or Jacoby Lane. So just a dot throw. If he doesn't work out, he's an easy drop. And then round 20 to add some tight end insurance, Dalton Schultz, because you feel like you get 6 or 7 targets every single game. So,
All right.
All in all, I like it. I thought I came away pretty good. I had a couple of good drafters in front of me, so I knew there were going to be adjustments that were going to be made, and I thought I did pretty good over here in the one spot. So, go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Yeah. Joe took a little bit of my airtime, so I'll make it quick.
Sorry. I'm the worst. I'm the worst at evaluating one specific team.
Stored short, long, but
yeah.
All right. All right. I took JSN, I'm 5 spot. Kenny Walker. I just feel like this guy was shit on in Seattle's offense. We saw what he did when Charbonnet went out. The freaking guy won the Super Bowl MVP. Andy Reid finally has a big time running back again, first time in a long time. So, it could do special things there, especially early on when Mahomes kind of working his way back. T. Higgins, if he could ever stay healthy, 17 games of Burrow could be lights out. Breece Hall, again, it's the Jets, it's a shit show. But as far as talent, he's one of the most talented backs in the league. It's not even close. Cam Scatterbo, look what he did in the games he was healthy last year as a receiver, as a running back. He's just an absolute animal. He probably needs to tone it down a little bit. But I take Tracy to back him up just in case. Mekhi Lemon, I believe in his talent. Again, he shows some similarities to Puka Nacua to me. I had Cooper Kupp a little bit, but, that aggressive type style. And, again, he was a big clutch player in college last year. Pearsall, very talented. I think he runs one of the best out routes in the NFL, but his problems, he hasn't been healthy. Tony Pollard, finally, when they started giving him the rock last year, he really shined. Jalen Hurts, we mentioned earlier, maybe top 7 quarterback every year he's been in the league. And you get Mahomes, he's not going to run as much, but I have Walker, so I paired him up with Mahomes, and I paired Hurts up with Mekhi Lemon there to get the stack. Jalen McMillan, again, he had a disastrous season from the jump last year, breaking his neck, had a strong finish to the 2024 season. I would argue he might be the most talented receiver to come out of that Washington University trio a couple years ago. Tyrone Tracy, again, back up to Scatterbo. Chigo Quanco, always liked him, but now he's away from Tennessee. We'll see if Washington can actually get a little bit more creative with him. Arande Gadsden, a lot of productivity in college, had 3 or 4 good weeks last year. It's a little bit crowded there. I feel like people overrate him a little bit. But again, I needed a tight end there. Round 14, I'll take it. Travis Hunter, again, former number 2 pick, 15th round, one of the most talented players in the league. So, it's just a high upside pick. Tank Dell, he looked good on tape, running routes with Matthew Golden the other day. Mike Washington, there's word that he may get some usage there, and that's what Kubiak did last year with Charbonnet and Walker. So it could be a little bit similar with him and Genty. We'll see. Obviously Genty will be the big number 1, but Washington could get a little bit of usage and a good role for him in case there's an injury. I like Gunnar Helm. He showed some flashes last year in his rookie year coming out of Texas. Vikings D, Brian Flores, and then the Bengals kicker in a high-octane offense. Why not? All right, guys, anything that sticks out to you from any of these other teams? I already commented. I like Team 9's build. I'm definitely going to try to build something like that. I don't know about the quadruple, but at least the triple stack there with the Bills. I like that. Big time NFFC veteran there. Also big baseball player as well in the NFFC. Anybody else? Anything stick out to you guys?
It's also going to be on Aces Up next Tuesday.
There you go. So Team 9 is going to be on Tuesday's show with Joe. There you go.
Team 6, interesting with everyone on that yellow brick road of receivers. They went 4 running backs in their first 6 picks. So interesting to see how that shakes out. They'll probably need, their receiving room. They got St. Brown, but then Michael Wilson, Jaden Reed, Jaden Higgins, Casey Concepcion. There's a lot of question marks there that they'll need to hit, but definitely a stacked running back room.
It helps that they take McBride though, who's kind of like a receiver.
True.
And I
think-
kind of like the receivers they took too. I
Yeah.
like all those guys.
3 QBs too with Purdy, Goff, and Love.
Yeah, I don't know if he needed to do all that,
Yeah.
but
I think Team 10's got wide receiver issues as well. But
Yeah.
that sticks out to me a little bit. But other than that, it looks like everybody's got a solid build all the way through this draft. A lot of good drafters in this one.
Yeah.
all right. Frank, I just wanted to ask you a couple more things. So where could everybody follow you this year as we head into the 2026 fantasy season? I mean, obviously on X, but where's going to be your biggest presence amongst the different sites that you're running on this year, I think?
Fantasy content at Rotoballer Fantasy Pros, and also going to put rankings at a new site, OTC Fantasy. You could check those out. Betting content, Action Network, and lineups if you're into betting as well. But always will even post tidbits on Twitter as well.
Yeah, we gotta get Frank on for a betting show. I want to do like a future show.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, we'll get I want to. Somebody else wants to do that too, so maybe us four of us will all do a betting show, a future show. That's a good idea, Joe. Frank, I just wanted to ask you a little bit of trivia. How old are you, Frank?
How old am I? 36.
36. All right, so I gotta mix that in here. All right, we'll give you one that you should be able to get here. It's a pretty popular one. It's just going to be a picture of a guy. You let me know if you know who he is. Are you ready?
Okay, wait. I think I know who it is. Charlie Whitehurst.
There you go. You got it. All right. You got it.
Nice.
All right. One more here. One more. Let's see. A little bit younger than us, but
I like this exercise. Steve been working this in on the show. This is great.
All right, who's that?
Oh, that's tough. Wait. Oh, shit.
Speaking of big man in Jacksonville, there you go.
Damn. Oh, man. Okay, wait. I don't know why. I'm probably wrong. You're so short.
This was a little bit before he was kind of in his prime a little bit before you were probably a little bit younger.
Oh, is it like it's not Keenan McCard? It's not Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith. There you go.
Jimmy
Smith. Yeah.
I was trying to think of someone more obscure for some reason.
I got that. That's the one that's one of the ones I got when he pulled it up.
All right, last one. See if you get this one.
That one. Is it Sam Hurd? I keep thinking obscure players. Oh, Keyshawn Johnson is no.
no. That's
no. Wait,
number 17.
Williams. No. Oh man, I lost.
All right, that's Quincy Carter.
Oh shit.
He was the backup quarterback.
I was going with really obscure because of the first one, Charlie Whitehurst. So then I went like Sam Hurd. Remember, he got
Billy got it. Yeah.
Billy got it. Yeah. When Billy finally gets on this show, we'll do a draft. We'll do some more. I'll do some like 70, 80 stuff with him. I don't want to date him too much, but we'll have to. We'll do more of this trivia. But I just new member to the new guest to the show. I wanted to bring it out. One more thing, Frank. I have to show you this. By the way, Frank used to do shows with our boy Anthony Servino. And what? How many years did you do shows with him? Like 2 years?
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Like he was such a great guy.
He's awesome, dude. Him and I, Steve, you guys were close, but him and I were just starting to become really fucking good friends, and that should happen, man. That hurt. That took a toll on me for a good couple of weeks. Steve knows. Yeah,
he's a big loss, man. He was such a grinder, and he was with RotoWire, and he was a big piece.
He was taken off. He was taken off.
He was taken off for sure. He was just starting to really. I mean, he grinded more than anybody I knew.
Yeah, he did.
But I remember, Frank, when I first started podcasting with him in 2021, used to do weekly shows, and then there was a couple, and I was going with him every week. But then there's sometimes Anthony had this program where he would forgot to change the name. So this is what happened, bro. You see that?
Wait.
So that's me with your name under there, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, now I remember you did it after when I didn't do it.
Yeah.
When I could. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
back in
remember that.
2021.
Damn, that feels like yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what program he was using, but he would do that all the time where he couldn't change it mid show. So if he went into the show with that, you had to stick with it. So you're like, who the hell? I was saying it to my friends, like, who the hell's Frank Ammirante? Is that like your stage name or something? They're like,
to be fair though, at least you got some Italian, Steve. I mean,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
D'Angelo's
actually,
Italian, right?
Yeah, I'm Italian. I'm part Sicilian. Actually, Frank, I wanted to ask you that. What's your favorite Italian dish?
Oh damn, tough. Maybe like
A nice bolognese.
Yeah, or like I used to not like. And sorry. I used to not like I'd be okay with carbonara, but then when I went to Rome and you try it, like it's better. I like it more now. I like penne arrabbiata. I like spicy. I like just loading it. My dad's side is Calabrese. We always have spicy stuff.
I like spicy too. Yeah, I make a bolognese a lot on Sundays. I slow cook it for like 4 hours.
Frank's seen I've sent Frank pictures before.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, nothing like the sauce with a full day of football.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like now, I cook during now, but when football starts, I can't cook because I'm watching the games. So my wife's been taking over, and she's been doing a pretty good job though. She's kind of stepping up. She makes a pretty good sauce and pretty good piccata now and everything. But yeah, Frank. Actually, have you ever seen that guy Vivaldi on social media? He's from Canada. He puts all these recipes together. You got to follow him, man.
Oh, I'll check
every day. Yeah, he's from Canada. I don't know what part, but he puts a lot of good stuff together, and they're simple to follow, and everything just looks great. By the way, shout out to Big Draft Energy, another Canadian in the house.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. Check out Frank on Sirius XM too. I believe you're going.
I'm going on to talk about this draft. I haven't gone on a lot of podcasts lately, and I just jammed it to the.
That's right.
At the scene.
From 7 to 7:45, Frank was on the Fantasy Football Show with Johnny Main and Nick Wilcox, couple of Scott Fishbowl Boston guys. Go ahead and subscribe to their show. Two good dudes, man. I saw Johnny this past weekend. We hung out. We chopped it up for a few minutes. Great dude, man. Great dude.
Love it. And it was fun doing this stream. Thanks for doing it. I always wanted to stream one of these drafts of these Beat Frank leagues. It's fun. I like talking about the team and all that. So appreciate it.
Absolutely, Frank.
Yeah, it's always good to you see these people on X and. It's like texting. You can never get the feel for somebody. So when you bring somebody in person, you talk to them, or even better yet, when you meet them in person. But it really brings the full context of the person's character out. So I appreciate you, Frank, for coming on. Did a great job. By the way, what's up with that picture in the back there? I like that.
The picture in the back. I got my friend is good at he's an artist and he paints. So when I was first dating my girlfriend, who now is my fiance, I got one of her pictures of her dad who passed away, and I had my friend paint it, and that was the gift I got for her birthday. That's her when she was a kid.
That's awesome, man. That's
awesome.
I
was too, man. I was pushing him up into the second round, big draft in these high stakes drafts. I was on JS. Frank was on. I remember.
Yeah.
Record breaking season for JS.
I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you, and I think that's why a lot of people are going after Ibuka now, because the Ohio State, similar mold. The one thing I think about JSN that separates him is his catching in traffic, and the way he tracks the ball is absolutely unbelievable. So I don't know if Ibuka quite has that skill set, but anyway, Frank, are those fantasy notes, by the way, on that whiteboard too?
No, this room in our house is where my girlfriend works. She does mortgage agent. She writes her notes.
Okay, I thought you got to put some fantasy.
I need a better background on that.
A parlay board like Dan and Josh. Yeah.
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 All right. Well,
Yes.
I appreciate you once again, Frank, for coming on. Everybody in the chat, Billy, Jay, Josh, Willie Miles, Sean, AJ, Sanda, Big Draft Energy, Steve G. I guess he passed out early. Aaron, everybody else that I missed. Appreciate everybody. Joe for putting this show together
Steve
as
G
well.
is there. Steve G is
Oh,
there. Great.
still here. All right. Awesome. Yeah. So,
Thanks for
these guys,
tuning in.
we're really, it's a great community we got going here, and everybody, good luck in this draft. Good luck the rest of the year. Keep grinding. We'll be back for more drafts soon. Again, we'll have a NFC South preview tomorrow on the channel. So make sure you are liking, subscribing, follow all our Twitter handles here. And that's it. But have a good night. Talk to you soon.